Hey everyone, my name is Charlotte Owens, and this is my interview for Contingency Management Intervention, specifically dealing with substance abuse. Hi Kelsey, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to start by going over your intake forms today.
Okay.
Yeah, is that okay with
That's
you?
okay.
Okay. So I see here that you're 26 years old. Now, do you have a job currently?
I do.
You do. And what do you do?
I'm a manager of a business.
You're a manager of a business. And how's that going for you?
I mean, it's stressful. It's fun. It's fast paced.
Awesome. So I hear you saying that it's stressful. Is that what's leading you to have a substance abuse issue?
I think it has a play in it. Yes.
And what about it is stressful for you?
Well, I think it's making sure that everything runs the way it should, that my people are happy, my customers come back. You know, one fails and everything tends to tumble afterwards.
Yeah, I completely understand that. So I'm hearing a lot of, your stress isn't necessarily internal, but it's a lot of external factors. Is that
Yes.
what I'm hearing? Okay. So let's talk about substance abuse. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what substances are you currently using or have used in the past?
Marijuana, heavily.
Marijuana. And what led you to begin using marijuana?
It was kind of like, let's go out and try it. When I was young, I was 15, I think, when I first tried it. It was more curiosity than anything.
So what made you continue to use marijuana now?
It relaxes me. It kind of just calms everything down and mellows everything and kind of forgets certain things over others. And I mean, depending on the day, it can go either way.
So I'm kind of hearing that you're using marijuana as an escape from, the stressors of not only work but everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when was the last time you used marijuana?
Yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And so now let me ask you this. What made you want to come to this treatment program?
At some point, I think it's time to grow up, I guess, if you will, and to really take on everything in a more appropriate way versus, oh, well, whatever. Like, everything's fine. Like, I'm going to just get high. Like, it'll be fine. Doesn't matter. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm hearing you say that, you're using marijuana is kind of making you feel like you're stuck as a kid and you're really trying to grow up and take on more of this adult role that, your job and vocation is kind of wanting you to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you think that's kind of a motivator for you to seek treatment?
I think so.
Wonderful. So let me tell you a little bit about the treatment program that we use in this facility. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we typically use what's called Contingency Management. And what that is, it's a 4-step program to kind of work your way through and look at targets and make goals for yourself in order to go from where you are now to become the adult that you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So let's kind of deep dive that a little bit more. Is that all right with you? Awesome. So the first thing that we're going to do, we've talked a little bit about how you're feeling all the stress from work and from other areas in your life. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've identified all those different factors. And now, I think the target goal that I'm hearing from you is that you want to be sober so that you can kind of realize that adult feeling that you feel that you're in already, but you feel as though marijuana is kind of holding you back.
Mm-hmm.
So the first target behavior that we're going to look at is going to be abstinence. So abstinence from smoking. Does that sound like a reasonable target behavior for you? Okay. So that'll be, kind of goal one. We're going to look at you refraining from using. But in the meantime, we're going to reward that abstinence. So let's think about some meaningful things to you that would be considered rewards. Does that sound okay? So right now I know that you said you were working, and how does being in this treatment program impact your ability to work?
I think taking taking as a lot of my time, I guess, if you will, like it uses up a lot of my time to where it affects like my ability to be there and actually work. I think that would be where it would begin.
Okay, so you feel as though treatment could be a hindrance to your ability to work. So you think maybe one of the rewards that we could have for you is the ability to continue working. And that would be.
I think that would be good.
A good goal. Okay. So we know that working is a stressor that causes your need to smoke, right? So what if we said for the first negative test that you got, you're able to work 15 hours a week? Does that sound reasonable?
Maybe.
Gives you enough time to be there, do the things that you need to do.
Overwhelmed.
Right. Okay, so that to me, that sounds like a reasonable goal. And definitely a reward for you, because to me, it sounds like you really enjoy working, but it can be a big stressor for you.
Yes.
And so while we're in this process, we want to kind of limit the stressors that cause you to use, but still allow you to have the rewards. So definitely, I think having that first test be negative and still dealing with some of the stressors and then limiting the amount of hours you can work, that sounds like something that's very doable for you and for your recovery. So that will definitely be, target reward number one. So now let's talk about, the second subsequent negative test. So in doing that, we're going to be testing you every so often, random intervals, so that we will know whether you're staying on track or whether you're not. But at the end of the day, we really want you to succeed. And we're going to be here to encourage you and to support you in anything that you need throughout this entire process. So that being said, your second subsequent negative test that we know is going to happen for you, what would you want your reward to be for that?
I think the only rewarding thing that I can be happy with is just being able to work and to work more, and not go crazy, but maybe a few extra hours every week versus jumping right back to where I was before, just taking it slow.
Okay. So a lot of what I'm hearing is that you just really want to continue working, even though work is the stressor that's driven you to this point of usage. And while I think that work is a great reward for you, I'd be cautious to move too quickly into it. So I'd almost like to take this, day by day, week by week. So your second subsequent drug test, you get to maintain that reward of 15 hours a week. And maybe we can add in another couple hours in there as that second drug test comes through. But kind of slowly move you along so that we know that you can handle it, but we'll also be able to have check-ins to make sure that everything's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So going forward, we can definitely add work as a reward system. There is actually a program in Contingency Management that is a work release program, and so your employment is contingent on you maintaining sobriety. Is that something you might be interested in?
I think so, yeah.
Wonderful. We can definitely get you set up with that. So how about we also utilize a voucher program or a token program. Is that something you'd be interested in, or is it really just, the work contingent program?
I would think it's just the work.
Just the work contingent program? Okay. Yeah, we can absolutely set you up with that. And that's going to be something, like I said, again, is contingent on your sobriety. But I definitely think will be beneficial for you, and it'll help you work through both the stressors of having to work while also maintaining your sobriety so that you can get a feel for what that all means.
Okay.
So is there any questions that you have for me today?
I don't think so.
How are you feeling after, talking about a lot of this and learning about what your options were?
A lot better about things. And I think it's a lot more doable than I had anticipated. So I'm excited for it.
Wonderful. So like I said, if you have any questions about what this treatment program and the protocol involves, please feel free to reach out to me. Let me know of any questions, and I'll be happy to answer anything that I can, because this treatment is all about you. It's centered around you, so that any questions, any concerns, any road bumps that you might have, we're able to address them specifically for you. Okay. Well, Kelsey, thank you so much for coming and talking to me today. I look forward to working with you in the future, and thanks.
Thank you.